We're here today to talk about personal preparedness. When it comes to personal preparedness, go to the experts. I'm here at 511 Tactical to talk to them about what we need to be prepared for emergencies and disasters. So as we continue our series on preparedness, today we're talking about personal preparedness. And we're meeting up now in 511 Tactical in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm here with Daylon Savage. He's the general manager of the store. And we're going to talk about building a kit and having a plan and things like that. So Daylon, why don't you start out and just let us know what is it that we can find here to help us put our kit together?
So here at 511 Tactical, we can find basically anything you'd need to build out your preparedness kit. As you and I have spoke about in the past, this all starts with a plan. Without a plan, you have nothing. You can have everything in this store and you won't be able to execute if you don't have the plan.
Got to start with the plan. So we have a plan. I know we've talked about a little bit that 511 put together on how to put together a kit. When you're putting a kit together, one of the first things you've got to consider, I guess, is the kit. Like, what's it going to go in? Here I'm seeing we got kits everywhere. There's bags all over the place.
We do, and all of these bags, it's really personal preference. Most of our bags are literally like adult Legos. You can build them out as big or as small as you'd like. Even we have the new Rush 100 bag. That's 100 liters.
It's a big bag.
You can keep about whatever you need to in it.
Let's talk about some of the things that need to go in the bag. I know we need to have a first aid kit. That seems like general right off the bat. We need to have a first aid kit. I was looking around the store and I saw 2 or 3 different things as far as like first aid kits are concerned. You've got some that are already put together, but then you've also got just components if we wanted to build our own. So show us some of that.
This right here, this is Adventure Medical. This is going to be a good all-around kit, just for your general purpose. And then we can move into field trauma kits. These guys right here, also by Adventure Medical, these are going to have what we typically refer to as a blowout kit. So you're going to have your tourniquet, your quick clot. These are going to be for piercing injuries. These 2 kits combined, it's almost everything you need. I mean, we have everything in this kit right here, down to diphenhydramine for antihistamine.
You mentioned a tourniquet being in there. I see we've got a tourniquet out here to look at, so y'all do have those.
We do. Yep, this is the CAT tourniquet. This is the Gen 7. This is the current military issued tourniquet. North American Rescue, as you know, is the pinnacle of these guys. So.
Absolutely. All right, very good. And then I noticed you've also got one that's assembled that folks can look at and kind of get an idea of how to put a kit together, so you can kind of show them how to put one together, some of the components that we might put in one.
So this is what we typically call like a blowout kit. So you'll have your S-roll gauze in here for packing wounds. You also have your tourniquet, a very, very vital piece. You have chest seals for sucking chest wounds. And then inside of the kit itself, we've got gloves, shears, quick clot, bleeding packing, about anything you need. And this is actually in what's called our UCR thigh rig. So this can you can either use this as a standalone bag, or it can go onto the belt and wear it as a thigh rig itself.
When we're talking about putting a kit together, then after we've covered first aid, what about clothing? We need to put some coats or gloves or what?
Clothing is vital. Some warmth. We always need that. And a common misnomer is, well, it's 70 degrees outside. I'm not going to get cold. Well, you get wet, nighttime comes, you need clothing. So typically, like what we suggest is have a couple changes of clothing: socks, underwear, light jacket. It doesn't have to be anything heavy. Layering is key when it comes to preventing hypothermia.
Security. We got to think about security, keeping ourselves safe. I mean, we saw some of the rioting and things that have gone on in the country lately, and so that's a thought that's going through people's minds as I'm preparing. I need first aid kit in case we get hurt, but I got to be able to take care of myself too.
You definitely need a way to protect yourself and your loved ones that are with you. Anything from, and that's personal preference on what you carry. If you're not a firearms guy, you want to carry a knife, carry a knife.
Which I notice you sell.
We do sell. We do sell knives. But it's a personal preference thing. Just make sure that you're mobile with it.
Gotcha.
We get a lot of the prepper types in here, and they're like, well, I've got 10,000 rounds of ammo to bug out. How are you going to bug out with that? How are you going to?
You got to carry that somewhere.
Are you trailering it? So you really, this goes back to your plan. Is your plan to bug in? Is it to stay in? Or is it to be mobile? If you want to be mobile, needs to be as light as possible.
As we're telling people how to prepare and helping them get ready for emergencies, we actually tell them for both. Be able to stay at your home for 72 hours if you have to, sheltering in place, but then you also need to be able to leave your home if you have to. If something's going on there, you need to be able to be mobile and get out. So having prepared in both ways, so that if you're staying at home or if you've got to get out, you have a plan for both of those.
And preparing both ways is being prepared.
Right,
Let's look at it
being
this way.
prepared, absolutely. Flashlight,
Flashlight, imperative.
gotta have it.
Imperative. When I was in law enforcement, I worked day shift. I had a weapon-mounted light, and everybody's like, "Well, you work day shift. What do you have a weapon-mounted light for?"
Right.
Like, have you been in one of these houses during the middle of the day?
Right.
You know, flashlight's imperative. You know, and with the flashlight, I typically carry a backup and extra batteries as well.
So batteries is a key thing that we can't emphasize enough. You've got to have extra batteries. You've got to have the extra batteries, not just for the flashlight, but also for your radio, for all the other things that use power. You need that backup power. It's really critical as you're putting your kit together. Miscellaneous stuff. What else do we need to think about to put into a kit? So we've talked about first aid, we've talked about clothing, we've talked about protection, security, flashlight. What else might we consider to put into a kit?
Communication.
Hey, there you go.
You know, how are you going to communicate with other people?
Right.
You know, if you're in a group, how is your group communicating? You know, are you going to stay huddled together the entire time? More than likely not.
Right.
How are you going to communicate with each other? You know, small two-way radios. There's two-way radios out now, you know, 30-mile range.
Right.
And they're not breaking the bank. I'm talking you can get these things for $50-$60.
Right,
So,
exactly. All right, that's very cool. So anything else that you can think of we need to talk about, letting folks know when it comes to preparing themselves for emergencies or disasters, things they need to think about?
Just basically the importance of sitting down with your family and making a plan.
Making the plan.
Making a plan to execute said plan.
Right.
And that's imperative because, like, you know, I know I've said this before, but you can have all of this stuff and it means nothing if you don't know what to do with it. Another key component, training.
Yeah.
Training is vital.
All right.
You know, I can literally, okay, you've got a tourniquet, now use it.
Right.
You've never opened it,
Yeah.
you've never trained with it, what are you gonna do with it?
Right.
It might as well be a belt at this point.
Absolutely. So how can they find training? How can somebody get training?
There are a lot of reputable trainers in this industry. I know with you guys do a fantastic job in this area.
Yeah.
And you know, for us, we send guys to you.
We appreciate that, of course. And obviously, we're a partner with 511. We get a lot of our stuff for our team from 511.
Yep.
Our team wears 511 clothing for our uniforms. It performs well under trial, and so we're very thankful for giving us the chance to come in and talk with you, Daylon.
We appreciate it.
Thanks for getting all the stuff out for us to take a look at, and hope that you'll come by, pick the stuff up, talk to Daylon or his team. They'll get you set up. Preparing yourself means that you're putting your plan together, you're building your kit, and then you're ready to respond by training. Thanks so much. Have a good one.